Network. We are here in qualifying for the SCL Season 26 Mediterranean Super Prix at Monaco. It's our opening round of the SCL Season 26 International LeMans Series. SCL Season 26 International LeMans Series. Round 1 of 6 kicking off here at Monaco today. Those of you familiar with the Camel GT series on the American Tour, this is its International Tour counterpart. So we're looking to have a good race. The LMP2s and the GTE cars out here on the track for tonight's International Le Mans Series race. And although the series is relaunching after having a few seasons where it was not being run in SCL, we got a good field of drivers here today to put on a show for you. We've got several former champions. We'll be giving you the rundown of them here relatively soon as the GTE and the LMP cars of the International Le Mans Series make their way here on the street circuit and Monaco. Don't need to say how very tough a sports car race is going to be at this track in a 90-minute race. These guys are going to have to not only be quick on the track, they're going to have to take care of their tires, they're going to have to mind themselves through the traffic and try to get a good finish here in the first round of the championship. All right, getting these cars down there. We'll jump onto that. You're looking at Shane O'Kano on the Sunday Cup League account for Aussie Race Team. He is a two-time Camel GT Series champion in the GTE class, but he's running the prototypes here this season on the International Le Mans Series. Packed up his Aussie Race Team shop from America and running the International Tour full-time. Let me try to get a track map here so I can make more accurate calls for the race here. Damn it. Circuit de Monaco. Grand Hotel hairpin in turn 6 is always a interesting spot. As the session's winding down, looks like Cut Loose from Aussie Race Team has taken the lead here in the P2 cars so far. You can see we're skipping the Novelle chicane here as these guys are going to go flying right through the Novelle chicane here on the harbor. Right there. See if anybody's got something for Cut Loose here on the LMP poll. Currently the GTE poll is held by Average Gamer. But I'm going to head back into the race room briefly, guys. Get ready to do the starting lineup for you, and I'll join you in the booth here momentarily. All right, guys. Looks like we're going to set your starting lineup. You are going to be starting in your class order. So let me start with the LMP2, starting on the pole with, I believe, his first pole in SCL competition, Cut Loose from the Aussie race team, taking the pole. Congratulations, Cut Loose. Starting second will be Daz from Green Mountain Enterprises. Third is I'm Boosted from Inside Line Racing. Starting fourth will be Shano Kano in the Sunday Cup League account from the Aussie race team. Fifth will be Progar from Green Mountain Enterprises. Sixth will be Webloom from Inside Line Racing. That's your P2 car. Starting seventh and sitting on the pole in the GTE class will be Average Gamer from Aussie race team. I'm sorry, that's the wrong team. You're on early in the morning for me, Average. That's right, yeah. Sorry about that. All right, starting eighth, second in the GT class, will be Dalrymple in an independent. Starting ninth will be Pogo Gun for Green Mountain Enterprises. In the 10th spot is the veteran N. Staza running as an independent. In 11th, the returning vet Super 8 running in the independent Aston Martin. Starting 12th will be TS24 fan with Inside Line, I believe, as is Rich Core, who will be starting 13th, his teammate right next to him. And 14th on the field for Benson Speed Equipment in the Corvette is Silver Bullet. All right, guys, you are all set. Shano, I'm going to hit the booth, put on a show for us, guys, and we'll see the podium drivers at the end of the race, or the two class winners. I'm gonna say, I should say. You have time to do it, man. Got the 2-minute room. All right, and get ourselves ready to go. Let's check the all right, fourth qualifying, unfortunately won. Sorry about that. All right, getting our map set up. These guys will be going off of a formation lap to a rolling start. Parc Fermé rules on the international tour means they will not be making the strategy stop right at the beginning of the race. They're going to start on their defaults and then have to make their decision strategy-wise. We got 6 LMP2s, 8 GTEs in this race. And should be a good show, despite the fact that International Le Mans Series is just relaunching. You've got some real good drivers in here. As I said, Shano Kano in the Sunday Cup League account, 2-time Camel GTE champion. You've got Super 8 in here, who's a former IndyCar Series champion, Indianapolis 500 winner. N. Stas is a former Bathurst 500 winner and a winner in the Camel GT Series. And a lot of promising young drivers. Camel GT Rookie of the Year from last season, Pogo Gun, making the trek across the pond here to race in Europe today. And should just be a good show. We're looking to see a good race, see if these guys can stay off of each other here on this brutal track where the Formula One race will be tomorrow. And SCL Season 26 is underway. Daytona Speed Weeks is going on. We'll be back there later this evening for the Roar Before the Continental and Daytona 500 qualifying and the duels tomorrow. So that's going on at the same time, obviously, right smack dab in the middle of Daytona Speed Weeks. If these guys don't ready up, somebody's getting booted. All right, there they go. And they're off and rolling. They're off and rolling to get ready for their starting position. You know, like people like the cinematic views, but I'll probably go from the back of the field here on the start just to get a clean view of what's going on in front of us. We'll try to take a look at that when we have the chance. Cut Loose his first pole in SCL competition for the second season driver, running for the all Aussie race team. And we'll have to see if he can stay up there. His teammate Shano, starting back and forth, is obviously be one of the favorites here with his resume in sports cars in the SCL. And in the GTE class, Average Gamer looks like Average Gamer's won the first 2 rounds of the V8 World Tour at Bathurst and New Zealand so far. So he's been on a hot streak here on the international tour, and will look to get his first career international Le Mans Series win. Weather looks good today. Medium cloud cover over much of the day. No rain on the track, as it was the last time we were here a few seasons back. So we should be able to see quite a show. These guys are on their chip right now while they wait for the field to catch them. The field's just about there, and they should be picking it up here shortly. Going through the no Nouvelle chicane, straight down the Harbor Straight, basically, is what we'll call it. And looking for a good show here. 14 cars, 2 classes. This is what SCL racing is all about. Strategy going to play a big role. How early do you come in and get the Parc Ferme tires off? I mean, how much quicker are you on the compound and pressures that you want? And is it worth the extra pit stop? That's the big question. What are the guys going to do? That's an interesting thing. You don't have the strategy stop like you do on the American Tour and Camel GT, so it really becomes a matter of trying to figure out where and when to make your strategy. It's a 90-minute race. It's no picnic. But we're going to have 2 winners here. Right, we're getting ready to call it here. There are the lights, and we are green at Monaco. Cut loose right into the wall. That is going to be an almost immediate caution. Immediate caution coming out, waving off the start. When your leader goes straight into the wall, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. These guys are all stacked up on each other, and they're going to line back up single file and have to do it again. Cut loose from the pole has gone all the way back to 6th place in the back of his class. He wins the pole and immediately hits the wall. So not the start he was looking for. He gives away his pole position almost right away, and we have our first waved off start. So they're going to give it another shot here coming the next time by. So that puts I'm Boosted for the newly formed Inside Line Racing up to the top of the queue here, as he comes through the incident, and he'll lead us back to the start. Cut loose your pole sitter, immediately hitting the wall in turn 1, and stacking us up right away. Let's get the field catching up to themselves here, and we'll try it again. Cut loose, a fine driver, no reflection on him. We used to joke with the guys when that kind of thing would happen and say, it looks like the not ready for prime time players have showed up, but he'll be just fine once he gets it up and rolling. Like I said, strategy the big thing here with the Parc Ferme rules. Particularly in the GTEs, where you're probably on the primary compound tire, the hard compound tire. How long do you want to stay on those? On this particular type of track. This is a very difficult street circuit, one of the most famous circuits in the world, and these guys are going to be going at the line. All right, coming off the final turn here, they are going to be stacking up towards the line, getting ready to call the start. Boosted coming up. Actually, it looks like we're going to have a wave off because we're going green with somebody 22 seconds back. I'm going to have to... Yeah, they're going to wave off there because I don't know what Super's doing back there, but he's not caught up. They obviously had a caution anyway, going right into the corner, so it really didn't seem to matter. All right. That's our second attempt at a start. We're going for attempt 3 now. And this time it looks like it was boosted. He was all the way up front, winds up back in 6th. So I don't know what's going on with the leader here, but now it's Daz from Green Mountain Enterprises who cycled to the front, the English driver. Take a look at the nations of the cars in the field. We're looking at Great Britain, Australia, USA, Australia, Australia, USA, Australia, USA. No, I'm sorry. Australia, USA, 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 Australia, and USA. So a lot of Aussies and Americans in the field, a few Brits here in Monaco. And once we get this going, this ought to be a terrific International Le Mans Series event. Series will move on next, I believe, to San Marino in a couple of weeks. Or Imola, I should say. So points at a premium here on the opening round of the International Le Mans Series for season 26. You got to be kidding me. All right, Daz goes into the corner that last turn. All right. I'm not sure what these guys are doing, but looking like amateur hour up there right now. Going to lose his spot under the yellow, and they're going to have to go around again. So not sure what is going on with these guys. As they head through turn 18 there. And La Racasse in 17, they're just hitting the wall. And if you do that at speed, your race is going to be in serious trouble. They're doing it under the yellow. So obviously the guy's shaking off the cobwebs here in the opening round of the series and not looking too good here at the start. Well, that puts Shano back up front. We've had 3 consecutive cars now that were at the start, the lead of the race, knocked themselves back in the queue. So they're gonna have to strap it down and try to handle this. Got a long race in front of you. Guys got to be patient coming down to the Grand Hotel hairpin here. This will be our 3rd attempt of a possible 4 at the start, as they head down the Harbor Straight and get ready to try to get this going, get you some action on the track as soon as these guys figure out how to run 60 miles an hour under pace. One of those things. I think I'm gonna better stay up front. All right, with the action as they come through right there. Through turn 12, 13 through Chiron by the pool, 15 and 16 right now. Getting the cars lined up. Shano's going to lead us now. Qualified 4th, just waited for the guys up front to wreck, and now he's on the pole. So that's how it's done. All right, they're coming onto the front stretch. We should be getting ready for the green flag here in the Mediterranean Super Prix at Monaco. All right, coming down to the start finish line, and we are green at Monaco. Cars working their way slowly through the corner there. Guys all lined up. There's Average at the top of the GTE field. All right, Shano continues to lead us out. Don't see anybody having fallen back yet. Shano leading Progar, Webb Bloom, I'm Boosted. Shano getting to the wall a little bit there. Coming down through turn 12. Making it through that final turn 18 and 19 right there, which is critical. They've made the line, so we should be green to go. We got 3 cars already hitting the pits. Daz in a P2. We got a whole bunch of cars that are most of the GTE class here deciding that they want the soft compound tires. That's got to be what it is. They all decide they want the soft compound tires, so they're coming in right away here under green. They're joined by 2 of the P2 cars, Webb Bloom and Daz, also deciding they want to get on their specific tires right away. So interesting that they decide right off the bat to make their decision of changing tires and possibly add an extra pit stop. Super 8, the last one in the pit here, getting his service. He's out and gone. All right, back to the on-track action up front in the prototype class. Shano still leading Progar. They got about 5 seconds on, about 2 seconds on Boosted back there. The splits are going to be off as they're missing the chicane there. But interesting decision there. About half the field deciding to get onto the tires they want right away. And meanwhile, up front, the top 3 here are leading the pack out as they come back down on the front stretch, completing the 5th lap on our board. Cut loose in the P2s, also hitting the pit stall. Our pole sitter deciding to get fresh rubber out and get service as well. Take a look at the front edge of the GTE class. Average Gamer has jumped out to about a 5-second lead here off the initial start, as a number of cars, as we said, have made pit stops or the like. Cars already starting to spread out because of that, because they've made the pit stops. They have largely spread out from where they initially were. But up front, we've got a battle. The top 3 in the prototypes class. That's Shano Kano in the front, Progar in the middle, I'm Boosted in third. 3 cars, 3 different teams in the Orica Open Tops prototype sports cars running right with each other here at the front of the race. There's so much of this type of track is about being precise and not making mistakes. If you're fast, but you're going to put it into the wall every 2nd or 3rd lap, doesn't really accomplish much for you. You gotta be smooth throughout the run, and right now these guys up front are doing that. Shano, Progar both hitting his marks. Progar of Green Mountain Enterprises now in his 3rd season. He's really earned a reputation through the exhibition events in the off season for being exceptionally quick on the Park Ferme tires, and we've got a car out already. Pogo Gun from Green Mountain Enterprises has blown his motor. So mechanical issues for the Green Mountain team right off the bat. Guys got some action. Let's take a look at some GTE action. Battle for second in the GTE class. That's Dalrymple Dimple, rookie driver from Australia, leading the longtime vet Staza. That's your battle for second in GTE. These guys have not pitted for tires. They've decided to stay on the primary set here at the start and get as much as they can out of it. Battle for fourth in the class. Oh, not fourth, seventh overall there. You've got some GTE cars battling fourth, fifth, and sixth in class right now. Seventh in the overall. Webloom, Daz, and Cutloose all have made strategy stops early, and they're trying to sort it out as those three try to catch back up to the field. Off sequence, we'll just have to see how it plays out for them. Let's get some the on track with our pole sitter. Webloom put it around. Webloom put it around there in turn 4, I believe. Richcore slowing up for him there, which is really about all you can do. Silver Bullet trying to get into the pits, and it looks like he's put it into the wall on the way into the pits. He's having all kinds of trouble. Just trying to get it into his box. Finally gets it there to let the Benson crew service him. Obviously struggling a bit there with the primary tires. Meanwhile, back up front, Shano's still leading from Boosted, who's now gotten by Progar, who's fallen back to third. And somebody's gone already, and it looks like Silver Bullet has withdrawn 15 minutes into the race. Not sure if he had a mechanical issue or he just blew a fuse because he messed up entering the pits. Not really sure. But we've got 2 cars out, Pogo Gun and Silver Bullet, already seeing the hand of mechanical issues and attrition. So we're down to 12 on the track now. 6 in each class. 2 of our GTEs already out. And they're coming up on Super 8, the tail end of the GTE field right now. And they're going to have to get by him. Let's get on board at the end of this field here with Progar as he moves by Super. Take a look at from Progar's, let's take a look at his cockpit view here as he runs that Orica Nissan, trying to catch up to Shano and Boosted. As you climb up the hill here. Down hitting the chicane. Turn 5. Now it's down to the Grand Hotel hairpin. Difficult section here. You're gaining up on the guy. You cannot get into him. There's not a whole lot of places to make a pass. Progar looks like he's looking. Ooh, little bump there on Boosted. They head down by the pool. Little scrub of the wall. And back around to complete a lap. Meanwhile, Average Gamer leading the GTE class. He's got a sizable lead of 9 seconds, but he is also one of the cars that has not pitted yet. So he's off sequence, but the pole sitter is still leading his class. Actually, he's got more than that. He's got a 16-second lead. over second place Stas, as these cars are all shuffled up in the order. Try to invite Silver in and see if he got DQ'd or what happened to him. Actually, let me, sorry to break from the broadcast, but I'm going to make a new. All right, back onto it here. Shane O'Kano hitting the pits now, our leader in P2, deciding 20 minutes was enough. He's in getting service on his car, and that's going to shuffle Progar up to the front as Progar and Boosted still doing battle right now as they're coming up on the more GTE cars, who are playing it smart, just getting out of the way, really. Although they're racing their own race as well. Shano's still in the pits, getting full service. He's back out and running. Take a look at Webb Bloom working his way through the field, currently 5th in class, 8th overall, coming up on Stas and Dalrymple. He's going to be looking for a way through here. Webb Bloom showed a lot of promise. Second season driver, newly signed up with Inside Line Racing, I believe. Going to look to make his move probably on the front stretch. He's very smart, gives himself some room. That is very smart driving. Gives himself some room right there to make the corner and get on the throttle here. The P2s do not have overwhelming power over the GTE cars. What they have is better aerodynamics. So what you end up with here is this situation where you can't quite get by him until he gets a clear looking track, but right there he does it. Very well done. Smart driving there. It's exactly what you want to see from the prototype cars. He had nowhere to go. He waited for the opportunity and took it. Like right there, cut loose, cutting past your GTE leader, Average Gamer, and running in 3rd overall. Meanwhile, big traffic jam right here. Webb Bloom, the P2's leading that group. But there's a big bunch of cars. Webb Bloom, Shane O'Kano's in there, Stas and Dalrymple making their way through down the Harbor Straight. As we said, all these cars way off sequence with each other. You have to wait till the end to really see where it comes out. .123.2 for cut loose, currently the fastest lap on the race. 122.3 this last time. He's got a clear track and picking up speed. Stas and Dalrymple's still together. Meanwhile, back up front, here they are. Progar, still your leader. I'm Boosted, not far behind him, trying to work his way through the traffic. Guy's showing some patience. I got to give him that. It's not easy to do here at this track. But they are showing some patience. Looks like Rich Core hitting the pits at an hour 5. For Inside Line Racing. Second season driver, shows a lot of promise, currently running 4th in class. Average Gamer also taking it to the pits, your GTE class leader. Already appears to be a lap ahead of Rich Core Super as he's getting his service. Tires and a top off of fuel, and we'll be out and running here. All right, we got a battle on our hands here. Let's get on the chase cam. Shane O'Kano coming off of his pit stop, 6th in class, trailing Webbloom, who is 5th in class. Here's that battle. They're also coming up on Daz, who's 4th. So this looks like it's going to be a battle here. Little contact there as Shano gets into the back of Webbloom. Through the cycle of stops, your new GTE class leader is N. Staza right there, with Dalrymple not far behind him. But we're taking a look at this battle for 5th in the LMP2 class of off-sequence cars. Webbloom and Shano Kano nose to tail as somebody puts it straight into the fence. That was TS24 fan. Gets it back up and moving. But out front, still a battle for the lead. Progar, I'm Boosted, and Cut Loose. 1, 2, 3 all together up front. And let's see where their lap times sort out. They seem to be a second or two at least off of the on the primaries in the cars. We got a big car going around there, big wreck as I'm Boosted and Cut Loose both getting into each other. They're back up and going now, but they're going to lose a couple seconds there to Progar up front as one of them kissed the wall and the other one kissed him. So Monaco type incidents taking place right there, and that allows Progar to pull just a little bit away. Not by much, as they got it going pretty quickly. These three with the best battle on the track, although Webb and Shano back in 5th also looking pretty racy, and there's a battle for the lead in GTE there as Staza just narrowly leads Dalrymple, but we're going to stay with the front battle right now as these top three are right on top of each other. Progar trying to maintain the track position. He's got I'm Boosted right behind him, Cut Loose right behind him. And this is the section everybody's been having trouble with. Going through turn 12 there. 12, 13, going through 12 has been one of the main trouble spots. It looks like Progar's pulling off into the pits. Cut Loose and Boosted continue on, but Progar hitting the pits at the hour 1 mark for Green Mountain Enterprises, the 3rd season driver. Might be fourth. I could be wrong on that. Getting his fuel and tire service done now. And meanwhile up front, I'm Boosted. Inside Line Racing has shuffled to the lead on the cycle of pit stops with Cut Loose from the Aussie race team directly behind him. Battle's continuing there. Dalrymple Staza goes around. Not sure if there was contact there, but Staza has gone around. He was fighting with Webloom for the class lead. He gets the car spun around and going. Average Gamer gets by him as well. Retake second. Caught the end of that. Not sure if there was contact between them, but that allows Dalrymple to pull away. Staza falling back behind, and Average Gamer moves back up into second in class. But back up front, Boosted and Cut Loose are side by side here. Coming into turn one. Oh, we just lost Shano. Another blown motor for Shano Kano. Shano Kano is gone. Lost him in the V8 race. We've lost him in the Formula One. He's having all kinds of mechanical issues with the Aussie race team car. And one of our top contenders, Shano Kano, is out. That's 3 cars of the 14 starters gone, 11 still running. But Shano Kano, definitely one of the top contenders, is out of this race as well. So seeing a few disconnections here. So having some technical snafus. Staza hitting the pits now. 3rd place in the class, getting his quick service, and he's out as we are inside of an hour to go, half hour gone here at the Mediterranean Super Prix. And with our 3rd car, 3rd blown motor, we're now down to 11. But Shano continuing to have technical issues. Meanwhile, back up front, our pole sitter, Cut Loose, getting into a lap car there. Got to be a little more patient than that. Appears that was Rich Core. Got to be a little more patient coming through the GTE cars than that. But Cut Loose is in the lead. I'm Boosted now 4 seconds behind him. But as I said, these guys are all off sequence. Some guys have made pit stops, some guys haven't. It's got to make your time and stay on your strategy and see how it treats you. All right, we got I'm Boosted from 2nd place, deciding to make his stop here. 57 minutes to go. He's getting his service. And he's in a good position here for inside line racing to get a good finish. He can stay on the ball, getting his tires now. Car's a bit spread out, so we'll try to give him some coverage. There's Cut Loose up front for Aussie race team. 2nd season driver. Was our pole sitter today, then hit hit the corner on the start in turn 1 and fell to the back of his group, and now on the pit stop cycling, he's moved back up front. He's been running quick laps. Last one in the 123s. Looks pretty solid to me. Keeping it off the walls at the moment. How you doing, Silver?
Yeah, how you doing, fellas? Another bad day for BSC.
Oh, what happened? You DQ'd?
Yeah, I went in the pits. I had a little trouble getting in there, but just trying to get used to the manual gearbox. I went into the pits, made my pit stop, put on 4 slicks, went over the pit box, going down pit road, and then I don't know what happened. It's like I hit a brick wall, and then it said disqualified. So I'm just waiting for the feed to get up there and see what it was that took place.
I hear you.
Unfortunate.
Seeing some weird.
Over the race.
Yeah, we're seeing some weird stuff. I mean, there hasn't been there. Shano Disco.
Yeah.
He's had an unrelated mechanical, technical problem that's caused that, though. That's not.
Right.
That's not something with the server. I did see. I caught the beginning of you coming into pit row, and hitting the wall and backing up, and then you were getting your service, and then we were back on the track, and then you were gone. So I didn't see it myself, but
yeah, I'm gonna watch the feed after and see what happened. Race the big Daytona, so see what luck passes my way there.
Yeah, you running Monaco Grand Prix tomorrow?
I'm gonna try to make it in.
Yeah.
But if not, I'll definitely be there Sunday for the Daytona. I'm trying to qualify in there. It'll be my first ever qualifying in for that. So hopefully good things turn around for me on there. And hopefully run the Mustangs on Tuesday and the G&D on Wednesday. So
yeah, awesome.
I'm feeling pretty good about those series. I'm pretty good at the ovals, so I feel confident in that.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when you're getting your sea legs under, you're running the support series. Those cars are more forgiving. I'd have a lot more.
Right,
back in my day, I had a lot more confidence in those than I did in the big series. But either way, this race is tough. These guys are all off sequence with each other now, so we'll have to see how it plays out as we're 37 minutes in. Right now, they're pretty spread out.
Yeah, Dad's had a good run there. Good pass.
Cars coming out of the pits here are getting their tires up to temperature.
You gotta be careful of that wall too at the end. It kind of sneaks out on you.
At the beginning of the race, we saw 3 consecutive pole sitters hit the wall in turn 1, 3 consecutive leaders. It's like, yeah, there's not much to say about that other than he didn't want the pole too bad. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of room. It's just if you try to take it too fast, you're not going to make it. Like, it's funny. It's funny because when we raced here several seasons ago, we were here, and it's like when we're at Long Beach. We'll hear drivers say, "I hate this track. Can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this." And I always say the same thing: a poor craftsman blames his tools.
Yeah, there you go.
The fact of the matter is, that turn is tight. You know that you can't go in that corner aggressively, otherwise you're in danger of hitting the fence and getting run into. So when it happens, don't blame the track. You know full well what everybody's driving the same course. Full well where you're at. So there's no one to blame but yourself when that happens. So it's one of those things. But the truth is, these guys have shown a lot of. So far, what we've been seeing out here on the track, these guys have shown a lot of discretion getting through the traffic for the most part.
Patience is really the key here to this track, I think. And when they overtake.
Yeah, I'm a P2 driver, and I can compare this to I won back in season 23 at Long Beach in Camel GT, and I'll tell you exactly where that comes from. Is that the reason I'm not riding up and beating the bumpers off of the GTE cars is that I want them to let me buy at some point, and they're not going to let you buy if you're riding up on them and banging on their fender the whole time, and nor would I if I was in their situation. You come up and run me down 2 or 3 times, I'm just going to let you deal with it yourself. So these guys have shown that the GTEs, they've been patient with the GTEs, and as a result, the GTEs have got out of their way, which is complicated because the P2s are not, they're pretty much, I would say, the same motor size as a GT. They don't have a lot more muscle. What they have is lighter weight and more handling. So you're not just going to blow by them. You gotta beat them coming off and into the corners.
Yeah, break in early and exit fast.
Absolutely. Now I'm taking a look at our GTE class leader, Dalrymple Dimple, the rookie Australian driver, has cycled to the lead here after Average Gamer's pit stop. I think Average Gamer likes where he's at, although he has stopped twice already.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about his chances here. I mean, he's won, what, the last 2 races?
Nope, so, this is the first race of this series.
Sorry, the first race, yes.
The
other series I'm thinking of.
He won the first 2 rounds of the V8 World Tour.
Yes.
So he's been doing very well on the international tour, and
must bring his confidence up too to be able to run like that, Carl, and win 2 in a row and come here and be running well.
Well, I can tell you from my own experience. My rookie season came nowhere near anything. My second season started to run competitively. Once I won that first race in my 3rd season, the floodgates opened. All of a sudden, you know how to win, and you know what you did to win, and it comes a lot more easily after that. And so we predicted before the season he'd be one of those guys that would open that door, and he did very quickly.
Yep, definitely. I'm still, I played a lot of sport races and stuff. I fared well in that. I almost won a couple of them myself on separate occasions, but just, got beaten. So, or misfortunes happened where I crashed on the last lap, mind you, and that kind of stuff happens,
Yeah, you take your time and you'll get there.
Yeah, no, like I said, I feel pretty good about, this week coming up. I don't know about Daytona, but I'm going to try my best. But we'll give it a run and see what happens there. But my confidence is really with the Mustangs and the G&Ds, because those cars are so good to drive. It's a lot of clean racing, but I mean it's close racing. So it's fairly equal across the board. That's what makes it good racing.
Oh yeah, it's tough. There's so much you got to put together. As we lost another, it looks like Super 8 has decided to park it. Super 8 just getting back into the swing of driving.
That was he, or?
Super 8 goes back. I need to plug in my headset. Hang on, I'll tell you that story in a second. Headset's beeping on me. Super 8 was a rookie way back in season 14.
Okay.
He's been around for a long time. Matter of fact, he was the season 20 IndyCar Series and Indianapolis 500 champion. But when we came over to Project Cars 2, he didn't make the jump. So he's just now returning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pulled it off the track. Still 10 cars out there, and these guys need to finish. If they finish, they'll get a top 5 finish and have the provisionals going into the next round.
Yep.
So.
What's the next race?
I believe they're running Imola here in a couple weeks in International Le Mans Series. So, yeah, be a good thing to get in there.
Week off next week, for these guys, the Le Mans Series?
The Le Mans Series not running next week. I believe next week the V8s will be... They're not racing next week. International Tour is off next week. But in 2 weeks' time... No, I think actually it is these. These will be at Imola in 2 weeks.
Okay, because I figured maybe you'd switch them every 1 week.
We do, but it depends on what track they're on.
Right. Yeah.
The next week the International Tour is off completely. So in 2 weeks' time, this series and Formula One will be heading to San Marino.
Oh, right on. That track's probably a little easier than this one.
Oh yeah, you got some runoff to work with. Yeah, this track is not easy by any means. But we promote good. We sanction good competitive racing. At no point do we promise it'll be easy.
Right.
But this is definitely a tough track. I've run here myself before and don't have a lot of familiarity with it. It takes a long time, particularly coming up this hill. You got to time all your corners just right. The interesting thing about this track is that it's one of those places where driving your hardest is not how you go your fastest. As we see Cutloose spinning around.
No.
Cutloose spins it around in turn 1. Gets it back. Yeah, he got it back going pretty quick, but...
Oh, there he goes. Go, Cutloose, go. Go, buddy, go.
Yeah, he's off.
Buddy. Oh, who's that behind him? Catching Daz is right there, too.
No, Daz is 23 seconds back. He's got a GTE behind him.
Oh, excuse me, yes. Who's that behind him?
I believe that's TS or Rich Core, one of the inside line cars.
Okay, yeah. Excuse me, yeah.
Take a look at the GTEs real quick. Dalrymple's still in the lead.
He's been a good driver too, Dalrymple.
He's a promising driver, brand new, rookie driver, and he's shown promise in his races so far. And right now, as you can see, I haven't seen him put a wheel off yet. That's the key. He's not running the fastest laps, but he's also not running laps where every fourth or fifth one is 5-6 seconds slower because he caught the wall. So he's not losing much time. Average gamers catching him, but catching and passing are two totally different things at this place.
No pun intended, but I think these guys can run laps around me here. Oval might be a different story, but here they really they got my number. I'm not really good at the circuits yet because I don't have much practice on them. I'm more of an oval guy myself.
Yeah, if you don't have the track time in these, it takes time to get there. But you can see Dalrymple just hitting his marks, and
he's got to hit your marks and stay clean and stay out of trouble, and you'll have a good race.
Get passed by one of the prototype cars. I believe that might be Daz.
Yeah, let him pass. Yeah, good move. Good move on Dal's part. Let him by. No fight there.
Average gamer slowly catching him there, but back up front in the overall and the P2s, Cutloose got it back going, holding 16 seconds over Daz at the moment. As we are now halfway through the race, halfway home here at the Mediterranean Super Prix as they go down the Harbor Straight.
Get a good runoff in that straight, don't you?
That's the trouble spot we're looking at right there, though, is turn 12 right at the end of that straight. Everybody's been catching the wall right there in turn 12, and that's the one that's stepping everybody out. They're starting to learn it now. It's just not a corner that you can attack. Yeah, it's just not a corner that you can attack.
Just like contact with the wall there. Just taking it easy now.
Are you still in the lobby?
No, I'm not. I left. I didn't know if you would score points being disqualified or not. So.
Well, technically speaking, if you showed up on the board at the end of the race, we would.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that would have shown you up or not, so I just left.
I think it would. I mean, you've got your invite. You could always go in there if you wanted to. That's up to you.
Yeah, exactly. See him coming down here towards the chicanes here. Big runoff there. That's a tight corner too, that one.
Right there as he hits 12, makes it real smooth. All right, we got TS24 fan making a pit stop from 4th in the GTE class. Him and his teammate Rich Core at the back of the field.
TS2 making his stop. Looks like just fuel for him.
No, he's getting tires, I'm sure. At this point, you might not be taking tires, but you won't see the graphic of the tire change.
Probably tires, I'm thinking.
If he's in there longer than 20-25 seconds, you know he's getting tires. Yeah, and it looks to me like he's getting tires. playing it smart. I mean, you may not be having the race you want, but there's no better test information you get than running a race. So
no, that's exactly it.
He comes back in, throws his new different set on, try something else.
Yep.
You got a whole season where you're trying to develop your car, so might as well use the track time.
Do you think tire pressures, Carolyn, matter around here much? Tire pressures? Some of the guys probably run higher or lower pressures.
I'll tell you the truth about tire pressures in general, no matter where you're at. They don't make as much of a difference as people think. They make a slight difference, but and on unlike the ovals, you'll get a tenth or two raw speed like at Daytona if you have the right
it is good
pressure on.
There, you're right.
Here, I think it has more to do with dialing in the grip. If you're a driver who the way that your wheels, it has to do with how you set up the car, it's the wheel itself. As we got cut loose hitting the pits from the lead, we'll see where if Daz passes them. What you'll see though is like if you have a wheel set up and your car oversteers, you're probably going to want to, as Daz is going to pit right behind him. You're probably going to want to do something to fix that on the tires. Like for example, you're struggling with grip and the car's not turning. Those are the guys you'll see with a lower tire pressure on the fronts.
Right.
Guys that are really loose are probably going to put that grip and that lower tire pressure on the back. It just depends on what your car's doing to you.
Yep, it's true.
Most of us know, the veterans know, to make your changes in the cockpit before you touch the tires, meaning that get it dialed in with the wheel first. And then once you've dialed it in with the wheel, then, because every adjustment you make, you might just say, I like lowering my tires a half a bar because it gives me better grip on softer tires. But you're paying for it in a way too, because softer tires, they take longer. They'll take longer to heat up, but they'll wear out quicker in certain cases. So you've got to be careful with what you do with them. One way or another. As Daz made his stop, Progar got by him. His car's all well spread out on the track right now.
Who's that making pass?
Dalrymple getting through traffic. Or not Dalrymple, I'm sorry. Cut Loose getting through traffic. These guys are
hold on to the lead though.
Yeah, these guys are all looking at probably at least one more pit stop. I think there's a possibility a few of the guys that just stopped. The guys that just stopped might be good to go to the finish, but there's still a number of cars that need to pit, and that's what you need to be thinking about. You're looking. This is where I always tell drivers, make your race map, make your game plan, and stick to it until you see that something changes. This is that situation. You might be looking at your intervals and going, based on the interval to the guy behind me who already stopped, I may not be able to take 4 tires this time. I may not be able to take even 2 tires this time. I may have to, try to take a splash and go. You may change your plan along the way depending on what the interval looks like, and that's what's interesting. That's what, if I was in Cut Loose's position, Progar's position, Dalrymple's position, I would think about it. I would think about where I was at, depending on how it's looking.
Far behind you,
how where the intervals are at, where the other guy's at. Like I said, you might be gaining time on these guys, but it's not going to, you're going to catch traffic and that's all going to go away.
I'd say the ideal maybe 15 seconds or so.
It takes longer than that to get it out of the pits, but you're definitely going to want to see. We're on board with Average Gamer, pole sitter in the GTE class, running second right now. He's been chopping that lead down as Dalrymple hits the pits with 36 to go. That's going to cycle the lead back up to Average Gamer.
Wow.
As Average is going to come back, he should come back out in the lead. Let's see where he's at. Oh yeah, he's going to pass Dalrymple here just now. He does. Average Gamer retakes the lead in GTE. And we're going to have to see with 36 minutes to go whether or not he needs to stop again. He might have everything he needs on board right now.
It'd be kind of cool to see if Average can win this one and maybe get a streak going, kind of thing, like the V8s. That would be quite interesting to see.
Well, there's a couple of things for that. Number one, he's put in the work. He's put in the work last season to get quicker. He's a fast driver who just needs to keep it on the track more. And the other big thing with the International Tour starting up this season, I think there are a number of the drivers in here see this, is that a lot of the it's not quite as established as the American Tour yet. And the American Tour has a lot of the veteran drivers. The top talent is over there. I'm not saying we don't have top talent and running the International Tour, but we don't have as deep of a field yet. And a lot of these guys are realizing they have a chance to win some races and maybe even a championship because you know that in the next couple of seasons the International Tour is going to take off just like the American Tour has over the years, and you're going to wind up with a very tough field here too. So Average is he's come out about 30 seconds in front, which if he has to stop again makes things very interesting. So we'll just have to see.
I think that's comfortable enough, to be honest with you, but not so much. Like if it's a good lead, but I mean,
30 seconds. One mistake, 30 second, a clean 30-second splash and go stop, and he can probably come out still in the lead. But that's a perfectly clean splash and go stop. He needs to have the strategy set up right. He needs to get in and out of the stall perfectly. If he has to stop again, we'll have to see if that's the case. As he's lapping Rich Core right there. And
if you miss your pit box, that can be detrimental as well.
Any delay at 30 seconds. Any delay at 30 seconds and you're not coming out in that lead.
I know that's happened to me a few times, and it's just like kills your time. You know, every second's valuable, especially in the pits.
Oh yeah, you got to understand that especially when the competition is so close, the lap times are so close, everybody's the same speed in these cars, pretty much, that you win your races, you make your ground on the cycle of pit stops and on the way you handle traffic. So if you make the slightest mistake on your pit stops, it's very tough to overcome.
Oh, definitely. As we see Cut Loose coming around the corner here.
Still holding about 15 seconds on Progar.
He's alright, he's comfortable. Don't count Progar, though.
Cut Loose turning laps in the 123s and 124s whenever he's got a clear track.
Spells trouble for the other guy. What's the second place's laps like?
He's running 124s. They're all running in the when they're clear, they're running 123s and 124s. When they're not clear, they're running 125s.
Right, good traffic hanging off, yeah.
It depends on where they're at in traffic. Right about 124 is the average right now. And as of right now, Cut Loose, Progar, Daz, basically all of them are running the same speed. A little more variance in the GTE cars, which are extremely tough to get around here.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, back in the GTEs, take a look at Enstaz, the 8th overall, 3rd in class. Somebody I thought would be a competitor here. This is a long-time SCL vet, but he's a classic vet of a win it or wreck it driver. Stas is either there to win the race or he's wadding it up, and running a minute behind right now. Even off sequence, he would be a little bit behind the 8 ball. So still a good points day if he can hang on to where he is and maybe even make a run at Dalrymple. But I think he's going to be a little disappointed that he's where he's at as Webb Bloom hits the pit lane for Inside Line Racing from 5th in class, making what will almost certainly be his final pit stop. There's his. Yep. We'll see what happens when the fuel comes off if he is taking tires.
You'll see a lot of guys pit now and pit with them maybe. could be with them.
You could see another one come in, maybe. Let's see if he's filling that tank up.
I don't doubt it.
And he's taking tires. Yeah, he's definitely taking tires.
Yep, fueling tires for Webber.
But back on Stas there, he's let's see where he ends up on this lap. A little bit quicker. He's a driver who's definitely fast enough, but he's having some issues on this course. Progar hitting the pits as well, right as Webbloom gets out, making what's probably his final pit stop. I believe that all the P2s are going to, Progar and Webbloom obviously have made that stop. I believe they all
together.
I believe they all have to pit one more time. So
yeah,
we'll see where they cycle out. The top three
GTs?
there. GTs, different story. They probably can stay out longer.
Race.
Yeah, we don't know where they're going to wind up at. But meanwhile, back up front, Cut Loose goes around. Big wreck.
Oh no! Really?
Big wreck.
Wow.
Cut Loose has gone around in.
Oh, geez. Uh-oh.
Is it right there? Coming through 12. Yeah, coming through 12 there. That's been the biggest trouble spot on the track, turn 1 and turn 12 so far, and Cut Loose loses a lot of time right there.
Who was that he just nearly missed?
It was one of the GTE cars. No, yeah, I'm not sure. Rich Core back in the pits. But that's going to cost him a lot of time right there. He's still in the lead, but that's the reason we tell the guys why you want to run some form of your traction or stability. When that happens, you would have caught it with stability on.
Well, that 30-second lead just, I don't know, what is it, 15 seconds now?
Yeah, he lost about 12, 13 seconds on that spin. So definitely
right like that, right? So.
Yep, just like that, one mistake, and he's still looking at having to stop, and we'll have to see where these guys were inside half an hour here at the Mediterranean Super Prix, opening round of the SCL Season 26 International Le Mans Series, and we've had we've had some attrition. Four cars are out, but we're getting a heck of a race between these top cars. They're not together on the track, but like I said, they're all off sequence with each other, guys. So we'll see whose game plan sorts out here. And meanwhile, down in the GT, Average Gamer still in the lead, but Dalrymple running right with him. He's still 23 seconds back, possibly off sequence, but he is still running the same lap times. He's actually quicker the last few laps than Average. So he's not gaining enough to where he's going to get him on the track, but we also don't know where they're at pit cycle wise.
That is true.
Both of them may still have to stop, probably will. But the lead's holding right about 25 seconds.
Comfortable lead.
It's a comfortable lead when you know you're on. When you and the guy pitted at the same time, it's a comfortable lead. But once you get off sequence, you have no idea exactly, how that sorts out. I mean, I can I'm pretty good at reading the race while I'm in it and being my own crew chief, and I can kind of tell which guys have pitted when and what it means. But when you're not sure, it's really hard to figure that out. So we don't know here. They're both going to have to stop, I believe. So Average Gamer might be in the better position, but he's not driving away. He's losing time now, actually. Down to 21 seconds now. Matter of fact, let's do some cockpit time here with Average Gamer. He's in the Corvette, I believe.
Let's do cockpit view here. Let's do a lap of Average here.
Corvette for Extreme Speed Motorsport.
Coming through the tunnel here.
Down the Harbor Straight. Now coming to the troublesome turn 12. Makes it through fine. I'm boosted hitting the pits. Time Boosted getting his service now. Somebody's around there. That was Progar, I believe.
Uh-oh.
You get back on the trackside cam. Yeah, I believe that was Progar that just got into the wall in turn 1. He's back out and going. But he's got some time to make up now as Boosted's got by him for 3rd place. Boosted working his way through traffic.
Around.
Meanwhile, there's Dalrymple, and he has gained up. He's cut that lead from about 26 seconds down to 18. And he is running a lot faster than average gamer as of right now.
Maybe he was being conservative.
It's possible, but he's got the pedal to the floor on that thing, a 127.8 on that last lap, compared to a 130.4 for average, who took some traffic. And he's now down.
Seconds, yeah.
Yeah, he's gaining time, but he's still right about 20 seconds back. He's steadily chopped it off, but I don't know that without a little help, he may not have enough time to get up there.
Time is running out. 25 minutes. We're booked for 25 minutes on the clock left.
Yeah, 25 minutes. He's got, but he's moving right now and pulling away from 3rd place and gaining on 2nd, or gaining on the leader. Well, back up front in the prototypes, cut loose, turning in the 122s that last lap. Let's see what this lap comes out as. He puts this one below 124. We'll know he's pulling away steadily. 123.2. Yeah, he's definitely banging the wall on that one in turn 1. He's not going to get that lap this time. Oh, somebody went straight off there. TS24 fan completely missing turn 1.
Oh wow, that'll hurt.
Finally gets it going. Those guys are way behind there at the back, the ILR team drivers, but they're still, they can roll it to the finish. They'll finish in the top 5.
Yes, certainly, yeah. I think that's for, what do you call it, provisionals?
Provisionals for next week, yeah, or next race.
Yeah, 2 weeks time there.
All right, Stazza in the pits from 8th overall. Daz now seeming to pick it up. Get some time on Daz, as Daz ran in the 123s there as well.
Good time, Daz.
But we've got about the same thing shaping up here for the lead in each class. Both of them waiting to see how the pit stops and the traffic cycles. The attrition has cleared the track up a little bit, so there's not as much to go through, not as many cars to drive through anyway, so they might save some time that way. Meanwhile, Dalrymple's cut it down to 17 seconds on average gamer. Daz is within about 13 of cut loose here. Daz now in his 5th season. He's been a regular on the American Tour for the last 4 seasons. Still looking for that first points win, and I think he's got his eyes on it today, possibly.
Oh, most definitely.
Whoever wins here today will be their first international Le Mans Series win.
At this track, it's well deserved.
Oh yeah, this is not an easy race. 90 minutes here is like running 6 hours at Daytona.
Feels like an eternity. But they're getting it done, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's just, I guess like we've been saying, it's just you got to keep it off the wall. You got to be patient.
Keep your eyes on the prize, you know. Keep it in the long run. Keep your head in the game, and get a good turnout.
Well, those of you viewing, you're watching the lap times there on your pylon. You're seeing guys go back and forth. Like take the P2s, for example. They're going back and forth between 122s and 125s. That's all dependent on on how worn your tires are, obviously, where your fuel's at, and on traffic. But the thing is, the guy that you're seeing, if that variance is 122 to 127, 128, you're in trouble. If that variance is 122 to 124, the whole race, you're fine. And I know from my own experience, I had a race a few years ago. We actually went and looked at it. It was 2 or 3 seasons ago, and I won IndyCar. It was an IndyCar race that I won at Willow Springs. And we looked at my map, and I was not the fastest on the track, but I ran 21 consecutive laps that were within 1 second of each other.
Wow, no kidding. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 21 straight laps that were all right at the same time. Now that will put you in a position where, you know, so what if that guy is a tenth or two quicker than you?
It's consistency.
Yeah, if he hits the sand once, you're making all that back up. So, you know, that's how it works. Down to 20 minutes to go. Some time here. Progar came out of the pits, now running 4th in class. I think he believes that he's made his final pit stop. Guy's got all sorts of different strategies going. Progar about
some strategy plays here.
Yeah, Progar about 10 seconds behind Boosted for the podium spot. Moving up on him.
That's not a bad finish either. Podium in this track. I'd gladly take that too.
Oh yeah, I'd walk out of here with a podium any day.
It's a good solid point stage.
It's like I said, I'm working the booth here in International Tour, but the race I can compare it to on the American Tour is when Camel GT and IndyCar go to Long Beach. And at Long Beach, you know, I'd like to win.
Is it similar?
It's similar. It's very similar. It's I'd like to win it, but the fact is at Long Beach is that, you know, if you come out of there top 3, top 5, you got to be happy because you don't control a lot of what goes on at this place.
Right. It's true.
Progar now moving up within about 6 seconds. He's got time to make a chase here if he can. Meanwhile, down here in the GTE class, Dalrymple has moved to within about 12 seconds of Average Gamer as he has consistently, let's get on board, there's Average Gamer, we'll get on board with Dalrymple, he has consistently turned faster laps. The big question is, will they have to pit? Dalrymple about 12 seconds back now, and he has chopped that lead in half on Average Gamer in the last about 15-20 minutes. Yeah, we're looking at about 12 seconds the gap between them and 12 seconds the gap between the leaders, so, or the P2 leaders, so it's about the same.
Cutler's still holding on the lead though.
Well, the guys are you're not seeing as much of it, with the exception of Dalrymple moving in on Average Gamer. You're not seeing the intervals change a lot because the guys are just trying to keep it on the track. They're being smart and going, I'd love to push, but I don't want to push so much that I ruin the place I got. So I think you're seeing a lot of conservative driving here, which is not always the worst thing at a place like this.
Nope.
Well, we've got 4 cars on the lead lap in the P2 class. We've got 2 cars on the lead lap right now in the GTE. All right, be right back with you guys.
There he is. I'm surprised we didn't have no more blown motors. The International Tour. With 15 minutes to go here.
All right. Down inside of 15 minutes. Meanwhile, that lead is average gamer obviously had some trouble on that last lap. His lead is down to 6 seconds now as Dalrymple is moving in on him. Both looking for their first Le Mans Series win. And the interesting thing, like I said, you guys, the drivers in the race will see this, and if any of you are watching it on the replay, rebroadcast, take note of this. You can see by the lap intervals, by the lap times rather than the intervals, how many of you were contenders for this race. And it's obvious that the only reason you're not all 5 in a row is because of other factors. And when you see those lap times as close as they are, you know that, look at the P2s there, all 5 of them are running lap times that were capable of winning the race, or at least the top 4 have been. And the gap that they have has everything to do not with their lap times, but with the strategy they chose, what they chose to do with the Parc Ferme and the primaries on the start. Yeah, doing everything right is the big thing. And making sure that you take the note of what this race does. If you run this whole race and don't come out of it going, okay, I did this time and this is what happened. If you don't take those kind of notes, then you were just driving around. Because that's what you need to do. You might finish at the back here and realize I was running the same lap times as the leaders. What happened? If you can't sit down and figure out what happened, then you didn't make the best use of your time on the track.
Certainly not.
Like, how did I end up here when I was running the same lap time as the leader?
Yep, a lot of things go through your head for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables. That's just part of what makes racing what it is.
Racing's so great. Yep.
Yeah.
Average coming through the tunnel here.
Yeah, he's still got 7 seconds. Intervals go a little wild when you pass the chicane, but he's still holding about. That's where he's at. Look at your arrow. And there's Dalrymple not far behind them. Dalrymple coming into 12 right now. So they got a chase going on there. Meanwhile, up front, Cutloose still out in the lead. Daz, however, is tearing it up behind him. Now within 10 seconds.
Good old Daz.
Veteran driver just grinding away. Would like to catch for the win, but even if he can, he's going to wind up with a terrific points day if he can stay where he is.
Very respectable driver on the track.
Oh yeah, Daz is.
A lot of good things I've got to say about him.
Well, I say that about, you know, all of our competitors are good. The thing that I'll say about a guy like Daz is Daz's name has never been in the book. Never been penalized, and never caused anybody any kind of trouble in the, you know, gasoline alley. Now somebody went around there. Who is that? It's not average.
Is that Dalrymple?
No, it's N. Staza stuck in the wall there. He's got some Staza hitting the wall there at the final hairpin. He's just had a lot of. Oh yeah, he's well back as it is. He's had a rough go of things, but
even more now. Tough break for him, man.
Yeah, I definitely thought he would be a contender here, but it hadn't been his day.
Well, he gets in the wall again.
Probably stretching those tires out. All these guys, they might just be trying to get to the finish. We'll see.
Yep.
It's going to be very tight.
Cutloose tires, I think, probably are cold.
His tires are going, and Daz has been quicker here over the last bit. Same thing in the battle for GTE. Dalrymple's been quicker, but the clock is ticking. Cutloose can definitely not afford another shunt right now, though.
No, definitely not.
That 12 seconds he lost is already rearing its ugly head, so he can't afford another one inside of 10 minutes now. Especially with Daz, who's tearing it up on the track. 2 seconds quicker that last lap. I don't know it'll be quite as much this time. Let's see where they come out. Cutloose a 125.9. His car is definitely fallen off. Let's see where Daz's is at. 123.7. Oh yeah, Daz 2 seconds quicker that time. Some of it is traffic, but some of it's the car. Cutloose's car has gone away. And Daz has started to come up. Same deal there for average gamer. Yeah, he's making his move here. Meanwhile, back in the GTE class, it's down now inside of 6 seconds between average gamer and Dalrymple.
I'm sure Daz wants that win just as much as Cutloose wants his first one.
Oh yeah, they're both looking for that first win.
Yeah, in the International Series, mind you.
Yep. Actually, overall, Daz has been a contender for a long time on the American Tour, but he's never won a points race.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Been on the podium several times, but has not won a points race.
Maybe this is his day.
All right, I'll be right back with you. Hang on.
So we see average gamer coming through the S's here. Putting up some great lap times. Good circuit driver, average gamer is. Carrying a lot of speed there. Comes around the corner. He sure does make it look easy, folks, doesn't he? This average gamer does. And he's not your average gamer. That's for sure. That's a bit of an understatement. See how the back stretched out. Oh. Looks like it's in Staza. One of them.
Alright, back on it.
I can't tell which one's in Staza, the one in front or the one behind the average. Two yellow cars.
Stas is in front of average right now.
Okay, so does that mean he's going to be a lap down?
Yeah, he's a lap down already. He's about to go 2 laps down.
Okay, 2 laps down then, yes.
Alright, let's get on here with the chase cam here on Dalrymple. In second place, 5 minutes to go. Dalrymple now. He is average gamer's car has gone away for sure. Cut Loose got a little quicker now. I think the fuel burn off has put him in a better position. His car's gotten a little quicker now, but he's still holding only about 13 seconds.
Five minutes to go in this LeMans Mediterranean race here.
Yep, down to the nitty gritty of the Mediterranean Super Prix. Dalrymple gaining slowly here.
Oh, little leg split there as they go through the corner.
Down onto the Harbor Straight. This is definitely where to watch. Daz is moving in on Cut Loose. Dalrymple's moving in on Average Gamer. He is now right behind him, basically. Up front, Daz is moving in. I'm going to stay on the chase cam here. Or I'm sorry, on the cam here with Dalrymple as he is slowly moving in. He's actually catching him now. There you see, there is your battle right there for the lead. Average Gamer in the green Corvette. The yellow Corvette behind him is Dalrymple Dimple. And with less than 4 minutes to go, Dalrymple has run him down.
Oh, he did, yep.
And he went around.
It's going to be a good battle.
Staza goes around again.
Oh, no.
Staza goes around again. He's having a rough day.
Oh, Average almost get into him there. That wouldn't have been good for Average.
And there is. But like we said, you can run somebody down. I've had guys catch me from 20 seconds back and then spend 20 laps looking at my tailpipe. So
yep.
they can get to you, but can he make the move?
Normally that'd be a caution, but in the International Tour there's no cautions.
There wouldn't be at this point in the race anyway.
No.
This late in the race, you'd be green to the finish as it is. And there they are, right there.
So with that saying, Average made a good
evasive move.
Good run. yeah, basically, to get around him. Yeah, that could have ended his day pretty quick.
All right, we got the battle shaping up. We'll get to the one up front as Daz has moved into 6 seconds, but this is the battle for the GTE lead. Average Gamer leading Dalrymple. These two are nose to tail now on the track with less than 3 minutes to go.
Good 2-minute shootout.
Who blinks?
They both.
That's the thing.
Yep.
Who's going to blink is what it's all about right now.
Let's get on board with Dalrymple.
Get on our chase cam here with him.
Yeah. See what he does.
He's looking to set up the move. Now, if you're smart here, what you do is you make sure you're not on top of him going into the corner. Because if you're on top of somebody going in the corner, you don't have anywhere to take the run. As he kisses the wall here, that's going to lose him some time. You can't be on top of him in the corner. You need to be quick coming out of the corner so that you have a shot at making the run on these little short straights.
Yep. I don't know if he'll have it.
See, right there is.
A couple more attempts.
He'll have a couple more laps, but he's running out of time.
Well, he's catching them there.
Oh, catches the wall there. That's going to hurt him. See, that was what I was talking about right there. Dalrymple has experience outside the league, but there's nothing like SCL racing. So when you have more experience, you will know in that situation that you need to take that hairpin slow. You don't need to push up on him at that point because there's nowhere to go anyway.
No, exactly.
Like right here, he's got a shot. He just cannot quite get close enough to him.
No.
He's right there now.
Goodness.
He's right there. That's a clean move too. Average is the one who got into him.
They're both a little. Oh my goodness! They're nose to tail here. This is good racing, Carl. Average. It looked like he put the block on him.
He did put the block on him. It was not a bad block. You'd be more worried about him sliding up on him there, but that was unintentional. This is a very difficult place to do that. But here's Dalrymple looking for a shot at the win.
I don't think I'd make my move right yet.
I'd get there as soon as I can because they're running out of laps.
I think he's hanging back. Carl. Let's just see what he does.
He just cannot get.
Oh, average in the wall.
Dalrymple just can't quite get beside him. This is going to be the last lap. And meanwhile, up front, Cutloose has got Daz all over his tail.
Wow, what a good lead.
So we've got a hell of a finish brewing here as the clock is run out. This is going to be the last lap.
Can Dalrymple get him?
Cutloose is behind him, so let's stay with this one. Average making that car wide, nothing untoward about that. He's just trying to take away his line.
No.
Dalrymple's ran him down, but I don't think he's going to have time to make the pass here.
How many corners left?
They're running out of corners. That's it, as a matter of fact. Hell of a run there. But I believe Average Gamer is going to hang on to get the win.
Well,
No. Actually, wait a minute. They're not done yet because the leaders haven't crossed the line. Let's get up to the leaders here. Daz chasing Cutloose. This is going to be the finish of the race. Coming around is Cutloose from Aussie Race Team. He's going to get his first career win here in the International Le Mans Series. There it is. Cutloose is your winner. Meanwhile, let's get back into the battle here in GTE as Dalrymple on his last lap trying everything to get past Average Gamer here.
He definitely wants it.
He wants it. He's ran him down. He just does not have the room to make a move.
No, he's hitting the wall.
And that might have done it right there. That little kiss of the wall might have done it. A great effort by Dalrymple running him down for more than 15 seconds back. Ran him down for more than 15 seconds back, but not quite enough to get there. As I said, you can catching someone and passing them are two totally different things.
Yeah. That was a good 3-lap shootout, though. Sure.
It's been an excellent battle so far. He's hanging on. One more corner for Average to get through.
Hey, guess what, though? Still a good point stay for him.
Oh, yeah, great run. And here it comes. Average Gamer is going to come home as your winner in the GTE class. All right, I'm going to get back over to the race room, guys, and talk to the drivers. I'll be back shortly. All right, let me get my results here real quick, guys, before anybody hits any button. Get that one. Somebody else get your screenshots for me too, just in case something goes wrong with mine. So we have the results. All right, so there's your final results at the Mediterranean Super Prix. Congratulations to Cutloose from Aussie Race Team, your first career SCL International Le Mans Series win here at Monaco. Great job, bud. Daz comes home in second, boosted on the podium in third. Progar and Webbloom. Average Gamer gets his first career win in the International Le Mans Series. Dalrymple, fantastic drive, getting all the way back up there. We were talking the whole way about how catching and passing were going to be two different things. An Average Gamer his car was going away and you were just running him down. But man, you guys had a hell of a battle there at the end. There was just nowhere to go. There was nowhere to go. Though there was only yeah, the run at the right time. There was only one spot where you were probably beside him on the outside there, and Gamer tried to keep it on the bottom. But on another track, we might have said that he pushed you up. At this track, I mean, I don't think that's what he was doing, because he did. There's almost impossible to make that corner that tight, that last turn that tight. That yeah, that was. Yeah, that was a bit. That's racing. That was an excellent run, Dalrymple. You might have got your first podium, and Average got the win. But I think you made your name today. I'll tell you honestly, you made your name in the league today, because that was a hell of a drive coming back from where you were to get up there. But before I send you back, once again, congratulations. I'm going to leave it on here just for a second, guys, because I want to interview our race winners. Cut Loose, congratulations on the win. Tell us a little bit about how your race went. I don't have them on the feed anyway. I just was asking them for myself. So I don't have the time to get everybody into the post race room, but yeah, hell of a run. Daz was catching you, Cut Loose. He had your car went away for a while, and he ran you down for a bit, and then it stabled out. It's just interesting when you guys get off sequence. When you get off sequence, it's tough to tell who's quick win. But I will say this: I know it was a rough start, but that was as clean as you can get at Monaco. GTE cars were smart. The P2 cars were smart. Can't say enough about what a good show you guys put on here. That was an excellent race. Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, it's not an easy track, and those of you that run the American Tour will be seeing Long Beach in a couple of weeks, and that's no picnic. That's no picnic either. That. Yeah. Yeah, that's a smart move. And I'll say this though, TS and any other people that aren't fans of the track, I'll tell you this. I learned this at Long Beach, Willow Springs, any number of tough places where it's hard to get by. When you do learn the track, you will love the place, because it means that that even if somebody's a couple tenths quicker than you can hold them up all day. Like right there at the end of the race. At the end of the race, Dalrymple was clearly quicker than Average Gamer at the end of the race, but he just could not get by him. And that's what happens, and what makes these type of races interesting. The thing that you guys are going to learn, everybody, and that's all 5 of you that finished in the LMP2 class and the top 3 cars in the GTE class, is that when you watch the race replay on the broadcast, guys, what you're going to see is that all of you had lap times that could have won the race. It was not your speed on track that determined where you were. It was all the other factors. So take that and put that in your pocket for the next race. All 5 of the P2s and everybody but the ILR cars that are still getting their sea legs in this new ride, in the GTEs, all of you were running lap times that were fast enough to win the race. It was just a matter of how much trouble you got into, what pit strategy you were on, how you handled traffic. It was all the other variables besides the actual speed around the track. And that's a good sign. That means that, especially you LMP2 cars, all 5 of you could have won that race. Any one of you could have won it. It was just a matter of where you were at. But I'm gonna wrap it up. for the day, guys. We got the Roar Before the Continental special event tonight back at Speed Weeks, where the yeah, Mike's going crazy there, doll. But yeah, later on tonight we've got get on the corporate jets back at Speed Weeks. We've got the Roar Before the Continental. We'll have a 20 lap race in each class of the Camel GT cars out there for that one exhibition race. So we'll hope to see you guys there. But hell of a race, guys. Cut loose and average. Congratulations. And yeah, shoot, go ahead. Oh, it was an excellent race, and like I said, Cut Loose and Dalrymple, two uh, rookie second season drivers. You guys made your names today. You both did a hell of a job out there. Average and Daz and the rest of you up front, we know what you're capable of. Those guys proved what they were capable of today. So that 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 yeah that yeah. What I'm saying about that is that they had a quick lap. I'm watching the broadcast and I've got the pylon with your lap after lap after lap, and there's in every race there's one or two guys that are able to hit that super fast hot lap when they hit everything right and everything's lined up. But the fact is, overall, especially in the P2s, all of you were running the same speed. Like, yeah, Cut Loose hit 122s and ran the fastest lap of the race, but at race pace, he was running the same 124s as the rest of you. He would hit the 122s and every once in a while, but he was running the same pace as the rest of you, and it was that's why I said we were talking about that with 30 minutes to go in the race. All things being equal, these guys would be right. These guys would be right on top of each other, because the fact is that they're all running the same lap times. But really great show. Congrats again, Cut Loose and Average Gamer. You win the first. You are the Mediterranean Super Prix champions for season 26. You take the points lead. Congrats, and we'll see you over the rest of the weekend back at Speed Weeks. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for coming out, guys, and hopefully I'll catch you tonight. What's that, Daz? It's the Roar Before the Continental, and then the first round, of the Daytona 500 qualifying. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Yeah. No, I believe we're going to run GTEs first, but we have the same call time, pretty much. So yeah, they can watch the race, and the P2s will be in the practice room watching the race, and then they'll have their shot afterwards. Yep. All right, guys. Catch up with you later. Have a good one. We'll see you tonight. What do you mean, real weather? It's all we always use live weather. Even for practice sessions, we use live weather. Yeah, yeah. There's a it's I haven't looked at the Daytona forecast, but it's Florida, so yeah, there's a chance of rain. Then there's a good shot we'll see rain. Yeah, we'll see. Daytona's not the worst track in the rain. It's a good track to run in the wet. You have a lot of room. But hell, good race, guys. Like I said, can't say enough what a great show you put on. Congratulations, and I'll catch you guys tonight. All right, have a good one, guys.